on a farm owned by my parents, William and Mary Ford, in Dearborn, Michigan. I went to a one-room schoolhouse. I was very good at math and had a huge interest in mechanical objects. In fact, my brothers and sisters had to keep their toys away from me since I loved to open them up and study them. When I was a little older, I was testing a little experiment with a little steam engine when it exploded, burning down a nearby fence. My dad wasn't mad at me. He just told me to be more careful in the future. In the beginning of 1885, I met Clara Bryant and liked her immediately. I impressed her with one of my watches, and later we got married. One of the reasons Clara liked me because I was a serious man. In late 1893, my only son Edsel was born. 3 years later, I made my first car, the quadricycle. Later in 1903, I opened my company. In 1908, I created the Model T that later became the most popular car in the world at the time. In 1913, I installed the first moving assembly line. Normally, it would take you 12 hours to make a car, but in my assembly line, it would only take you 2 hours and 30 minutes. In 1916, Edsel marries Eleanor Clay. Later, in 1919, I promote Edsel to be the president of my company. In 1927, the last Model T was made. A year later, I started working on my own museum. Sadly, later in 1943, I was devastated when Edsel died. Later, in 1945, since I was getting so old, my grandson, Henry Ford II, took over my company. In 1947, I passed away. This was the story of my life.